Should we get started? Good evening, everybody. How are we all? Sorry, that was probably a bit close and a bit loud. Hope you're all well. Welcome again to Tuesday Night Edits. It's Tuesday again. Bloody hell, that came around quickly, didn't it? You would have thought I'd actually done something since last Tuesday, but alas, I haven't. So, I presume you can hear us. Is there anything moving? There is something moving on the bars. That's good. Right, okay. We are on. Oh, hope you're all well, everybody. I'm a bit bloody tired today for some reason. I don't know why. I've been getting enough sleep. I had to go for a nap at lunchtime. All of 10 minutes. But it was still a nap. I'm not that kind of person that does that kind of thing. I've been dead on my feet since like 3 o'clock. I've just had half a bottle of Lucozade just now to try to perk myself up. So I don't know what's going on. Tired. I think it's maybe, I don't know what it is. Whether it's been a long week or what, I don't know. It can't be a long week. It's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday, isn't it? Oh, good God. But maybe it's because I actually did something last night. That's maybe what it was. So well, those of you that are on Discord might have seen the pictures, but I've obviously, as I mentioned last week, then I will be moving out of this room probably this month, and I'm currently redoing one of the bedrooms upstairs to be the new office / stream room / everything. No worries, Kangaroo. Have a good meeting. We'll see you shortly. So I'm currently sorting all that out. So last night I was stripping all the wallpaper off, ready to get on with probably a lot of painting and filling and stuff over the Easter weekend. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing all weekend. So hopefully, I was going to say by next Tuesday I'll not be in, but I'll be hopefully well on the way, because there should be a lot of paint have been thrown around by then, because I've basically got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to get a lot done. So I'm hoping to get a lot done. Busy tomorrow, busy Thursday, but once that's all out of the way, should have clear run. And then you never know, in a week or so, like a couple of weeks' time, we might have moved in up there. Fingers crossed. So by the 5-year anniversary stream, we might be in a new location. But I will have to test the internet, because I haven't got anything hardwired up there. It will be done by wireless initially. If I'm really desperate, I'll be pushing a network cable out that window, up the side of the house, back in the window upstairs. It might get to that point of it being that desperate. But that's the plans for my Easter weekend. What's everybody else's plans for the Easter weekend? I hope you've got some more exciting things to do than what I have of just painting or redecorating and tidying up rubbish and all of that good stuff. Hopefully it's more exciting than that. So, anyways, good evening, everybody. I know Peter said he can't join us, he's busy. Or he might join us later on. But good evening, Sergio. Good evening, Paul. Good evening, Simon. Kangaroo will see you again in a few minutes. Good afternoon, Marty. I was going to say, how is Kansas? You've just answered it. Windy. I've seen an alarming amount of tornado videos on TikTok recently. I mean, some of them are historic, but anyways, it's obviously into that season. So I hope you're staying safe and all that kind of thing. And good evening, Stephen. Good to see you. How are you, sir? I was going to say here. I was going to be cheeky there and say here on time for a change, but no, that's just being cheeky, isn't it? Just being cheeky. 4-day working week, Simon. Yeah. Some of us are used to that all the time. No, some of us just happen to do a bit of work every single day. You can just never quite get away from it. So, but then again, some people would class what I do as not working. So, We'll see. We'll see. So anyways, have I got anything else to mention about anything work-wise? I don't think I have, actually, because I haven't done anything since last week. I've been so busy, but I've got nothing to show for it, which is a little bit alarming. I was intending to have a bit more data for editing in the coming weeks, because I was meant to be over in Cumbria yesterday and part of today. But I got, I was going to say it got cancelled at the last minute. I didn't get the email to say it was cancelled until the last minute. So that was that. So I was intending, I would have been really tired tonight without that. But I was intending to have a bit of data from over that side to play around for the coming weeks. But I haven't, so I'm going to have a trip out sometime soon. So tonight we are doing more of the Newcastle editing stuff. And last week, like I say, if you were here, I said I would be doing a couple of images. Well, you know what I'm like. Andy got a bit stuck with one image because it wasn't quite coming out right or as intended. Then we ended up going down a very extravagant abstract phase and ended up making about 4 versions of that. So we never actually got to that second image. So today, definitely intending to skip that building and go straight down to the Tyne and do another version of the Sage, which is a big fancy spaceship-looking concert hall on the banks of the Tyne on the Gateshead side. So that's what we're doing tonight. I did do a version of it weeks ago, not on stream, but put it out there on socials. So we're going to make a new version of that. Hopefully hopefully it's going to be a bit different. But we'll see. Yes, here on time, Stephen. Yes, Stephen. Brain's not working today. Very much surprising. Yeah, I was going to say, Marty, I was like, Kansas will be one of them places where all the storm chasers go, isn't it? It's kind of that middle bit, Texas and Oklahoma, Kansas. My geography after that is a bit poor on the American side of things. Sorry about that. If anybody's got the headphones in, I just clipped the microphone. Yes, my geography of the middle of America isn't great. I've got a friend in Tennessee, so I know that's kind of up and a bit, like, I'm saying up and a bit and across a bit. It's like you've got Texas and then there's Tennessee's up here somewhere. Obviously you're probably watching it in reverse. What's above Kansas, I haven't got a clue. What's above Tennessee, I haven't got a clue. It all gets a bit random after that. But all right, that look as it, I think, is starting to work. I think I'm starting to wake up. So we might as well crack on before I get stuck and we're here till 9 o'clock again. What's that? Notifications, everything. Right. So if I switch to this, should give me right. So I will show you said Sage building, so you know what the hell we're working on. Is this beauty? It was built some years ago. Can't remember when. It's probably about 20 now, because it's 2020. Good God, I keep forgetting it's 2023. It might have been more than 20 years now. Jesus. That's a scary thought. To be honest, I can't remember when it was built. It was probably around about the time. Yeah, actually it will be, because the Millennium Bridge was, surprise, built for the Millennium, which was 23 years ago. That's a disturbing thought. Good God, I am getting old. Right, so this is the building that we're working on. So the view straight across the Tyne. And the image that I made a few weeks ago and put out on socials was this. Yeah, well, Stephen, I have got this for when I've finished the Lucasade. So I want to make something a kind that it will resemble this, but maybe obviously it's going to come out a little bit different because we're going to use different images for it, starting images, I should say. So these ones are kind of using these ones, but I've got some images, that are closer in, so we've potentially got a bit more shape to work with. So we're going to do that. And again, I need to sort out the... because some of them, I've kind of picked out a few, but some of them aren't great, so I think I'm going to use that one. That 1 star. That one at 1 star, sorry. So that one, and that one. Let's see what these ones are like. I think it's enough kind of variation and sharpness to be able to get a front, middle, and back out of all that. See this one frame here. You've got the back edge, and this one's nice and soft. Come on, rotate. This one's nice and soft as well, and then this one you're starting to get definition in the front, and this one as well, definition in the front. So we can kind of bring all this together, because if you look at my original one that I made the other week, there's a lot of oh no, that's the wrong one, sorry. This one, there's a lot of definition missing from the front. You got a bit of an enclosing line at the back, but the front just seems to just disappear into the ether. So that's what I'm trying to avoid this time. So that's just one of the vagaries of how I shot the images, because I was self-conscious. I didn't want to be doing it too much when those people around. Having to photograph in cities is not my forte. And I'm not comfortable in it. So let's get this edited. Probably going to lighten this up quite a bit, and probably going to increase the saturation as well, because it was fairly dull when I shot these images. It was pretty overcast, so it wasn't the best light. And then you've got a light building against a grey sky. Not a lot of contrast to play with, apart from these window areas, which you can kind of highlight then. So which one might be the best to work off? Maybe it's that one. Nice bit change. Right, so lens corrections. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream so far this evening, please do consider leaving it a like. Always helps, supposedly. Supposedly helps the algorithm. Right, detail. Flatten that down. And don't need any detail, obviously. Basic adjustments. Let's try. Just going for automatic, just to see what options straight out the box we have, because it is quite an architectural kind of building. I do want it to kind of retain a little bit of that simplistic, minimal kind of feel, just like the previous version. So I'm not going to remake the previous version. But I do quite like this cool tone here. Just wondering how these blues will play with my presets in Analog Effects Pro. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. So, Stephen, if you're on the wine already, has it been a rough day? Or is that just standard Tuesday evening fare? And by the way, everybody remember, get April the 25th into your diaries. That will be the anniversary stream. I'm going to add in a bit of texture here just to try to bring out some of these lines. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do for the anniversary stream, but it'd be lovely to have plenty of people here to celebrate. Probably to watch me get drunk again. As is the usual way. Smudge there. Okay. I said I wasn't going to remake the previous version, didn't I? What am I doing? It feels like I'm on my way to making the previous version. Okay. Maybe we dial back the blue. Because that might get overly blue by the time we get... What we could do is make this white. Is that white? Okay. That's supposedly balanced. I'll believe it. I will not doubt. Okay. God, Lightroom's sucking up the frame rate today. I even restarted the computer to go maximum resources before I started stream. Obviously, it didn't help a lot. Right, so have I got any dust spots? That's the wrong button. This one is the one I want. There's one there. It is on full strength. Yes, it is. Right. I keep forgetting there's no done button. Keep forgetting. Right, so I think we will just sync these across. So obviously going by this, we're looking like it might be a more straightforward edit, and this is why last week I was intending on... Why is it down to 10 frames per second? This is why last week I was intending on doing 2 images, but I obviously got distracted. Oh, if the Theatre Royal... the Theatre Royal image from last week and going abstract and all that. So, right, so we have that all pushed across. Let's just check these out. Come on, it doesn't. You've just displayed it. Why do you need to re-render everything? Just want to see what they're doing. Honestly, I am to the point of changing away from Lightroom because it's ridiculously slow. Right, so let's send these into Photoshop. And whilst it's doing that, let's go back to me. Just to help with the resources of the computer. Because it is a bit rubbish. Check all these messages that are coming in. You're quiet in the chat again, you lot. I know Peter's not here, but... I didn't mean to double tap that. There's only one loaded in so far, so bear with me. Welcome back. Welcome back, Kangaroo. Hope it was a good meeting. It was nice and brief, obviously. You didn't miss a lot. Very little. Just me complaining at that Lightroom is horrible. And 34 counts. Oh my god, that's a lot of charges. No, I well imagine meetings aren't nice. Yes. I've got a meeting tomorrow night, which I am not looking forward to do. And I'm not even really partaking in it. I'm just there to take bloody minutes. Oh, come on, computer. It would be lovely if these programs weren't so resource hungry. If I turn that off, will that make a difference? Maybe, maybe not. Good evening, Serge. Welcome along to the stream. Nice to see you, sir. How is France at the moment? We've had a lovely 2 days in the UK, but it's clouding over now. It's about to, I think it's about to turn a little bit rubbish, which is typical because it's Easter weekend coming. Right, so that is now loaded up. I need to switch back so you can see what I'm doing, because nobody wants to look at my face too long. Right, so do that. Let's all bring these together. Go through the blend modes to see what kind of image we may or may not have. See what we can start off with. I mean, like straight away, a nice little minimal thing could work. And just think of if I had to print that, how little ink I would use as well. You got to think about the finances. Overlay, soft light. Well, I think the options so far is going to be multiply and then play around all that light and blend mode. Right, so multiply, we'll do this one first and kind of work on it. Yes, Paul. Good point, Paul. Yes, anybody that's on the in the Patreon community, Paul does this. Is there is a section there for sharing your own work, so we can all see. Now we had a lovely Zoom chat, the Patreon people last 10 days ago, something like that. What a fab chat! And Paul showed off his wonderful images, which many of the community had never seen before. So another good way of a good use of the Patreon stuff. Just lining these up. Paul, did you trigger the Patreon thing in chat by any chance? You know what happens when you trigger things. Only joking. Only joking. Or am I? They did, Kangaroo. It was great. See, I mean, that's what's so great about them, the Zoom chats, and I'm so pleased I do it, because it's like the best thing I do, or my favourite thing I do, I should say, is get to talk to you all, and you all get to talk to me, which I don't know if is that a good thing or I don't know. But it's great, and I mean, other creators might do something similar. I don't know. But it really is one of the best things I do. Right, so we got that. Good evening, Aileen. How are you? Missed you. We haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're keeping well. Hope the family's good. But yeah, there's a few people I follow. I was like, I kind of wish, I wish they would do things like have like a Zoom chat for just a few people. Be great fun. You actually get to talk to them, get to know them. Right, so what am I going to do to edit this? I think I might need to fade some of these two back. Yeah. So these two top layers, I think I can just both together, just drop the opacity of this. These by, excuse me, quite a chunk. So like 40%, yeah. That's fine there. That's fine with that. And then I think probably going to use, yeah, when all this is done. Right, what I'm actually, I was going to retain the option of that lightened one, wasn't I? It's fine, bring that back up to full strength. And then this one up to full strength. I will have a look at the light and blend mode to see if it's still, nah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work now. So let's forget about that. Slide right back to multiply. And then these two layers, I'm going to move that back to full, yeah, 40%. There you go. All right, so that gives us that. And I want a curves layer. So I just want to lighten this up. Get it a bit brighter. Wonderful. Not that bright. Just so that, you know, you can obviously get the feeling of the brightness of the reflection of the sky in the glass. So we retain that. Also, you know, we've got these lines coming away down here, which, you know, aren't, it isn't great, but hopefully once we get in our Analog Effects Pro and we do the swish it around, then that should kind of hopefully all offset a bit. So we'll just see how it turns out. No, Aileen. Actually, when we were in Scotland, when I was making some photos up there, because I didn't actually. No, I haven't done anything with the video yet either. To be honest, I think the GoPro footage, there's nothing really to put a video together for, so I think I'm going to skip all that. But there was like an old ruined croft, which I photographed of, but like one of the gable ends was down, so it just had like one gable end, and then the main, like the front and the back of the cottage was like quite low. So when you photographed it, especially like I photograph it, it looked like Egypt. So it was quite fun. So it was one of them ones you could interpret into something else at some point in the future when I get around to playing around with it. Long way to go yet though. Right, fine. So these two layers, I think I need a mask for. But they do it individually, don't they? Mask on there, and I want to go to there, fade that out, yep. And copy the mask onto that one as well. There you go, faded that one. And then just gives us a bit more stuff at the bottom. What do you call it? I've forgotten what it's called. Canvas. So this one could do with being reduced as well. A little bit. Just a little bit. Put a mask on that one as well. Push that right the career across there. Just like so. I did Alien. I very much enjoyed it. Actually, I will. Have I got your email? Yeah, I've got your email. Because you're you should really you've been around the group long enough. I know you're not a Patreon anymore. When you've been around the group, I've got a video. I will send you it. Yes, the only place you will see video of the Scotland trip anytime soon, if at all, is there was the video I made exclusively for members. So if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon, then you get access to it. Or if you're like really nice and so supported the channel for a long time, like Aileen has, then you might get a gift. But yes, cross my palm with silver and you get access, basically. At some point in the future. Right, so there's all these benefits for joining the Patreon. I mean, there was 4, this week I put out 4 new, what you may call it, 4 new wallpapers. It's 4 years since I started offering wallpapers, desktop wallpapers to patrons. Patreon people. So give over my phone. Yeah. I still really enjoyed that. That was the point, Aileen. The first 2 nights we were actually in Scotland was when the Aurora really kicked off. So that was like the 26th and 27th of February. Mega display. I've never seen it like that. What's that all the notifications, man? Right, what are we doing? Back to doing some work. Right, so did I adjust some of the colours slightly? We can really boost the saturation a little while. Oh my god! Kangaroo, what was that for? You're a mod. You're allowed to trigger the thingy. Oh, it was so good. I'm not sure if you got to see them on the East Coast, because I think that was the weather not so good on the East Coast. I can't remember. Should we explain to Aileen what the new rule is? Maybe you need a new command for that, to explain the trigger game. Right. This is scare away all the what's it called? But thank you very much for the donation, Kangaroo. Thank you very much. Right, what am I doing? Trying to make an image out of this. Yeah, that'd be a good thing. But you can trigger that for free. We'll have to have maybe we should have words off stream. Right, the trigger game is, we came up with it 2 weeks ago, I think, Aileen, is that because there's various things programmed into the bot that controls chat, there's certain words set up to trigger things, and if you trigger it, then you have to donate £1. That's basically it. Just a bit of fun. But we've got money out of Peter. We've got money out of Paul. We've got money out of Jen. So it's in its infancy, and it's just a bit of fun. So don't don't take it to heart. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. I think Jen's gone and like she's developed a list, which I don't think she's activated yet. But yeah, just a bit of fun, liven the place up a little bit. Right, I'm getting distracted. What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this? Do I need that? Fair enough. I'll leave you to it, Jen. I will leave you to it. Obviously, I'm in the great position that I can't trigger it. Not that I'm going to pay myself any money. Right. So I wonder. Right, if I stack these layers. So we've got a new layer. And I'm going to zoom out here. And I'm going to go to where is it? Edit. Free transform. Yep, that's the one. And I'm going to spin this around a bit. Okay. Let's scale this up. Now this is the kind of thing that I do in Analog Effects Pro. But you can do it in Photoshop as well. Just it's a bit more I wouldn't say it's unknown, it's a bit more temperamental and you can't really see what you're doing. But there is ways to just to see what it might do. I think like Analog Effects Pro does the better job of it. But it sometimes gives you a bit of an option to kind of see. But you got to choose your thingies right. Oh, thank you, Anonymous, for the tip, for the £1 tip. Presuming that would be alien. Very kind of you. Yeah, so, you know, lots of these ones don't really work. You get the odd weird and wonderful one. You know, you just never know what you're going to get. I mean, you know, something like that nearly kind of works in a realism kind of setting. Well, I just thought I would give it a try. Let's bring this down. Yeah. Let's forget about it as well. Ditch that layer. And we will actually use Analog Effects Pro to, where's that? Go and automate. So we will use Analog Effects Pro to do what I normally do with all my presets and all that kind of stuff. It's just a bit more visually. Serge, they were made with an ND filter on the front of the camera to, you know, so you can slow the shutter down. And then when I was like in position and focused on the building, then I think the shutter was like half a second, getting towards a second, somewhere in between. And in between those, start the shutter off and then move the camera until the shutter closes again. So that gives you all this softness and streakiness and that kind of thing. Hopefully that explains it, Serge, in a weird, very simplified way. Sergio, no, it is Analog Effects Pro. This one at the minute. Right, so just looking at my presets, what there might be. I mean, obviously, because the blues and the windows are quite strong, so it's maybe something to work with. You know me, I like my reds. and I can't have reds in everything. I mean, to be honest, I could go for something that's quite dark in atmospheric. It is Gateshead after all. Apologies if you're from Gateshead. Something like that, but maybe just dial the colour back a bit. Move this around. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was like, Serge. So what I could do is, if you watch us for any length of time, then I like no foreground. Lens vignette. I like having no foreground, so right, I'm going to make that the lens vignette a rectangle to darken the sky off more, which is great there. And that hopefully gives us a very atmospheric sky. The only thing is it's turning these very murky, which is not ideal. But there is a solution to that, because we could kind of double expose this in Photoshop. So push this in so we have this dark foreboding sky, but then do it again but with more light in here. And then blend the two together. Just to make it a little bit trickier than dead straightforward. So what I'm going to do though, I'm going to look at other options first. Let's have a click on this one. Okay, not quite what I was expecting. That one I've just looked at. So this one at the top looks quite nice. Too light. See, this is a better one. So you could, you could have that dark sky, but with this foreground in here. Well, maybe it's not this foreground, but there's the more lighter stuff in here. So you could put the two together. That's an option. So the lens vignette is, where's that? That's up there. Okay. So we could play with this. So move the. Evening, Andrew. How are you? Your connection's a bit dodgy. I'm kind of hoping that's you and not me. If it's playing up a little bit. So yeah, we could do something like this. Because I want to try to get as much. I want to get blue in, I want to retain the blue in here, but I don't want it to be too dark. Because it's a bit on the grungy side, if you know what I mean. I'm wondering if I just need to rotate it so that edge becomes flat. This edge along here, not flat, but runs alongside. That kind of starts working. To there. I think. To maybe like that. Exposure balance. We want to go there. Exposure up, yep. So, I mean, I am going to have to play a little bit fancy to blend these together, but I think that's a decent foreground. This area in here. maybe just want to darken that off a little bit more. To about there, just very slightly. I'm hoping it's you guys. Not to like diss your internet or anything, but hopefully it's you and it's not mine. Hopefully it's not my connection. My connection's always a bit... Well, connection's always alright. It's the speed of the computer is never quite... Every time I do something on the computer, the FPS drops. So, right, I think this is pretty much decent for the foreground and for the main building. And then what I'll do is I'll come back in and then use that previous preset, which was... Which one I remember? TNE 166. Use that as the sky. And hopefully get a good contrast there. It isn't, Andrew. It is. Well, your internet must be really bad. It's the Sage building, so quite a difference, mate. Quite a difference. So we're gonna use this preset to do like a really dark, foreboding sky. Hopefully, Marty will not get worried because it'll probably start looking a bit tornado-y and a bit stormy. So, right, I'm just gonna OK this and do you know I want to OK this? Actually, that's probably a bit better. Yeah, leave it dark. Like so. Yeah. Do about there. I think maybe up a little bit more. 44. About there, that'll do. Right, okay, and then we'll come back in and use this preset here to do the sky. Try to make it simple this week. Not like that complicated stuff from last week. Past 8 and there's still a hint of a light in the sky out there. What the bloody... Delivery van. Right, zoom in so I can see what it is. Okay, so I'm going to unselect that one. Back in Analog Effects Pro. And then we'll use our preset, refine it a bit to maximise the results. And then probably very haphazardly blend the two together in Photoshop. But knowing what my painting skills are like with a mouse, because I've got no idea where my Wacom tablet is, and I very rarely use it, so I'm not going to be doing that, am I? So mouse it will be, so my painting skills will be thoroughly on view. Okay then, right, so Aileen, thank you very much, but you did need to tip twice, but thank you very much, very generous. Where am I? Increased detail, so hopefully that will retain that a little bit more. Lens vignette, I'm going to do that to there. So we've got all that. I want it really no, maybe I don't want it really foreboding because I want to be able to paint in this. I don't know how well this is going to blend. Aileen, again, thank you very much. That's totally uncalled for. But thank you for playing the game. Okay, I think we need to change the thingy type. Excuse me. Probably that one. Goes. This needs to be darker in there. Put them a little bit lighter in there. The double exposure can come down. Don't want it too dark. I know it's the northeast, but let's just leave that in the middle somewhere. Lens vignettes. If I move over here, too dark. Too dark. Just generally creep this across. I just want to get to the point where I've got a bit of definition here. So I've got a reasonable chance of painting it in as a foreground. So maybe it's about there. I'm not convinced how well this is going to blend, to be honest. I know if Peter was here, he'd be saying blend if, but you know, then he'd be having to pay money. I know. Still doing it, Elite, as well. Still doing it. 5-year anniversary in a couple of weeks' time. So I wasn't one of these people that only started this in lockdown. I was doing it beforehand, but yeah. All that time. I'm just going to dial that back a little bit. Well, possibly if it's anything like the 4th anniversary, I don't know if if I should. 'Cause that one was a bit drunk. I think the problem is with them was the whole let's do an after party on Zoom. So I did the stream and I wasn't too bad. And then in the after party on Zoom, and I was like flying. I can't remember ending the Zoom call, put it that way. So that's always the danger of it. Right. I think I'm not going to get this any better. So, risk this. I'm going to chuck this back into Photoshop and then look at trying to blend the two together. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think at the time I could kind of remember doing it, but it was like literally I was like, I can't remember everything about ending the call. I mean, the stream I was all right at. I mean, yes, I'd been drinking all the way through it. But, you know, stream was like only like an hour and a half, hour and a quarter. And then the after party thing on Zoom, which I can't remember how many people were actually in. I know Andrew Dorr was there. I can't remember who else. But yes, there was quite a bit of whiskey drunk that night. And then I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, very hungover. And then all me American pals that I was hanging out with at the time, we all stayed up and watched the first 2 Harry Potter films. So it was like, oh my god. Were you on that Zoom call as well, Stephen? I know there was quite a few. So I think the pre-show was open to patrons, and then there was the main stream, and then I think I opened up like the after party to anybody that wanted to hang out on Zoom. What a lot of fun. What a lot of fun was had. Right, okay, what am I doing? I need to reverse this. So I need to paint out the bits I don't want here. So that'll be the foreground. Right, I have a mask. So let's do a very simplified thing there. Right, okay, we've got that. Let's go paintbrush. Let's make this bigger. There we go. We want to reduce that opacity, so let's go 35, flow to 50. And I am painting in white. Yeah, I want a bit. Whoa, that's a hard edge. Didn't spot that. Hardness to soft. Okay, so no, yes, that's the one I want because it's darker. A bit more definition in there. Okay, so that's the yeah. Okay, that's fine. Just wanted a little bit in there, and then I need to flip this to black, and then I can start painting out this bit here. I need to make this smaller. Yeah. You know what? I've actually not. I think I had a very quick. Thank you, Stephen. I had a very quick skim through the last, like the 4th anniversary stream, just to see how drunk I was actually on stream. It wasn't too bad. But also to see what images, because I remade the image that I made on the first stream ever that I did. So what I'm going to do this time, I don't know. Might just play games or something. Something completely different. Do a poker stream. But that wouldn't be very long because I'd be getting knocked out within about 10 minutes, if that. I'm just taking away all of the stuff I've just painted in there, haven't I? Zoom in a little bit more. Yes, move over there. Right. Just looking to define these edges a little bit more. Painting with a very fine brush. I think that's even there, still a little bit murky. Thank you, Simon. So I don't know if do I need that to be a hard edge? I don't think I do. The only thing is I think I'm going off the edge of here. Where am I? I'm just doing this to sight it so I can then paint it back in. So okay. Move that back. And I'm just going to paint this back in there. It's one of them things you don't know when to bloody stop, do you? Let's make that weaker again. The little highlight above the line of the horizon. I'm saying the horizon, the bank. Okay. That's there. Might do some bit of light. Do I do a bit of light coming in there or not? Not sure. Not sure. Right, quite happy with that. One of them stormy type of images, isn't it? That I do so regularly. Yeah, I might actually drop this and just apply this to the foreground. Maybe it's about there. So that's, yeah, very stormy. Now, if you were here last week, which I'm sure some of you were, we used Luminar to try to make a sun in the behind something in the frame. and it didn't quite work because it's got bloody rays, hasn't it? It's a great tool, search, isn't it? It's a great tool. Probably not how it was designed to be made, designed to be used, but you know, there's several there's different ways of using a hammer. Probably, you don't need to use it in its intended fashion, and I treat Analog Effects Pro the same way. So what I'm going to do is try and Viveza and just see if I can get some kind of light coming through and here and make it look like the horizon or something. So I'm going to use Viveza. How big's this file? Right. Might need to flatten this out again to save a bit of time. Ooh, golden hour. What's that look like? Horrible. Horrible. Right, let's stay like that. So what what I'm doing with this is what are the presets I've got on here? I never use the presets in Viveza. I only use my own presets in Analog Effects Pro. Right, control points. We want to drop a point here. This is purely experimental. And I want to luminance. Hello, do something. Oh, it's color. It's color. Go back to 0. Yeah, whatever. That'll do. Yeah. So brightness. We want to boost that. We can make that actually. I don't know if this is actually going to make much of a difference, to be honest. It's only because it ended up with quite a bit of a bright spot there. Not sure if it's going to work right. Okay, so contrast as well. I suppose that's kind of made a bit of a difference. More concentrated light below the clouds, if you can imagine them being clouds. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you. We'll see. We'll see what it's like by the end. Is that we can warm this light up? Not like that though. Now. I change the hue. That may be a better idea. Maybe it's not. Drop the blue so it becomes more. There we go. Becomes more warmer. A bit of yellow. We don't need any red. Okay. There's a bit of yellow. Can we? Yeah. Zero that back out. Okay. Like so. So that's giving us like a bit of distant light beyond the clouds. So we'll apply that. This is going to end up very different to the first version I did, isn't it? That I showed at the start. Right, so there we are. We've got light in the distance, which is nice. Now, I wonder if I maybe just added in a little bit too much yellow there. If I mask this, I can't remember which way it is. If I drop this down just along that, whether that'll give us a harder edge to work off. Yeah, I know what you mean, Simon. Stephen. A harder edge there. That gives a little bit more sheen. And then that way I don't think I actually need a point of light. Normally I would like to do, I would like do like a wide glow like that and then put a more concentrated point of light in. So it does actually look like the sun. but I don't know. I'm not sure. We can give it a go. Should we give it a go? Let's give it a go. So back into Viveza. So in Viveza, I will then make it like, you know how I did the big wide U-point selection thing. I will do a smaller one, so it's more concentrated, brighter light. So I'll move this slider over here. Control point, bung it there, and what you do is you make it smaller, and then you go to brightness and you go whack. You whack that right up, and then you add in blue because it's, I think, and then you move it as close to the edge as you dare. I don't think it's going to work, to be honest. Does that work with that point of light? So it almost looks like a misty semi. Oh, I don't know. Or would it be better if it was further down? Well, it just becomes a big white splodge. We have it coming out from just beyond the building. That could nearly work if it looked like it was coming out from behind the building. Right, if you make that bigger than Andy. The thing is, it starts interacting with the rest of the image, so we maybe put it up in this corner. Hi, Suzanne. How are you? Haven't seen you for ages. Hope you're keeping well. I don't know if that's working actually either. If I put it over here. No. I think maybe my initial thought, having it there, and if we make it smaller, we could have that. And then what I'll do is the same as before and just slice the top of it off so it's not bleeding through. Yeah, we'll go with that. Do I need to calm this down a bit? Does it need to be a little bit less bright? And just have a bit more light there. Thank you very much, Suzanne. Your mum has a good taste, what can I say? Thank you, Aileen, for boosting the viewership this evening. Always appreciate it. But yeah, it's good to see you, Suzanne. Hope everything's going well for you now. Right, I think that'll do. So we have that done. We can always just forget about it, if need be. Right, okay, so if I zoom in here, hear my stomach rumbling. So we got that. You see, you can see the sunlight there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make that a little bit harder. I'm going to scroll that down and give this a mask. And just from there, and just go. Actually, I could probably do that stronger. Let's go 61. And then just so that it looks like the bottom of the cloud there. Does that look right? Possibly. Does that need to be a bit the other way? Maybe it's about there. Thank you very much, Serge. Very kind, sir. Yeah, okay, right. So we have a distant sun, a little bit of sun there. So I think that might about do. turned out nice-ish. So obviously we've got to throw this back into Photoshop for a bit of final, Lightroom, for a little bit final tweak and a crop. Now to save a bit of time, 2 gig. Do I run the risk of it not working? Yeah, it'll save a 2 gig file, won't it? Yeah. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Right. Hand in heart, hand on heart. Hopefully this will save in one and it'll not want to like redo it as a PSB. She's hoping anyway. But you never know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Aileen. Thank you very much. So yeah. So we'll go into, once this is saved out, we'll head into what you may call it. Lightroom, and do a crop or two. It'd be quite nice to put this on Instagram, to be honest. I would like to think it would be, Suzanne. I'm quite chuffed how it's turned out. So, just gotta wait. The only thing is, when we save things, we've got to wait an age for them to catch up. But we're on 39%. So let's hope this works in a timely manner. But yeah, I mean, one of the things I've been meaning to do I'm still trying to catch up on everything, is the next batch of prints. Because what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do prints in batches of, just a handful at a time. They're only available for a certain length of time. And then, then they're shelved away to potentially never be available again. So it becomes like a timely thing. But I've just got to get to the point where I've got some work worthy of being printed, to be honest. So, well, this one's turned out quite nice. So you never know, it might end up being one of them. I think after all that, I deserve a drink. Oh, by the way, Aileen, for ages I was like looking for different types of whiskey to try and all that kind of stuff. And I was on the very last dregs of my last bottle of Lefroy, and then a relative died, and when we were at his flat, there was how many? 9, 10 bottles of whiskey. So guess who? guess who took them? Good evening, Peter. Again. Yes, it's not a certain colour. Hey, Peter. The donation the trigger game has been working very well this evening. Can you see the donation bar at the top of the screen? Oh no, Suzanne. Aileen, you didn't explain to Suzanne, did you? Well, Aileen, to be honest, I'm not. Well, we were his closest relatives that we know about, but the bugger hasn't made a bloody will, has he? And we're too distant to actually get anything. So, well, this is going to be a very profitable stream for me. Yes, Aileen, you better explain the trigger game to to Suzanne. Oh, Sergio, it's going to cost Sergio a fortune as well. Oh, I'm going to be rolling in the money today. Rolling in the money tonight. Yes. The I think I can trigger it. Does a tip work? Yeah, there you go. There's the link. Anybody who's triggered anything has thank you Anonymous for the $2 for the £2 tip. Very kind. Oh, this is the best. This is the best thing I ever thought of. I think that was Peter, was it? Thank you, Peter. Well, I triggered it because the tip link wasn't there for Suzanne and Sergio to take part in. Right, that saved. That actually saved without having to make it into a PSB. So we now have the image in. By the way, Jen, did you change red or add rouge to red as well? I think to make sure Andrew gets it, like burnt umber should be added to the list as well. Oh, Stephen, it's you've been here from the start. How did you miss this? A new game for chat. If you trigger one of the things. Excellent, Kangaroo. Excellent. If you trigger one of these automatic responses in chat, it costs you £1. You lot are hilarious. I love you all dearly. Right, so we're back in Lightroom. Oh, I love you all. You are hilarious. There's loads, supposedly, Suzanne. I don't even know. Kangamoo has been very she's been very secretive about what she might have added recently. So I don't know. Right, so right. New virtual copy to do a bit of cropping. Oh, is that it, Stephen? Yeah. It's just a bit of fun. Don't need to play it. But obviously it's costing the regulars a fortune. It's a bit of fun. Right, so I need to crop this to, let's go, crop it 2x3, so it just chops a little bit off the edge to about there, nice and central. New virtual copy. Obviously we're thinking about wallpapers for next month. So 16:9, so we can increase that and increase that direction. So obviously we want quite a bit of sky. So we can do it like that. Lovely jubbly. New virtual copy. This is the great part. You can get like 27 crops out of one image. You remember back in the day there was somebody who was it a French guy? He said rouge. He always got excited because I was like, it's crop time. Right, so yeah. That's nearly a nice little square crop for Instagram, possibly, maybe. I'm starting to fall out with Instagram a little bit. Not because it's like meta or anything, but you know that's always an issue. Is just the whole preferring verticals and that type of thing. Well, it kind of works to a point. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne. Did we not set a counter up for whenever anybody said turn up, or did that not work, Jen? I can't remember. We tried a few things. This is easily almost easily the most profitable stream I've ever done. Oh, hilarious. Right, so square crop, yeah, done that. Is there another square crop, do you think? If you move it along a bit. Oh, we've had some fantastic streams recently, Alien. It really has. It's been really good. All because of the chat. All because of the chat. It's always been good. Does this? If I no, what did I do? I moved too much of that way. Is that? What you can? What's that look like? Yeah, it looks a bit. Careful, Stephen. Careful. Like I say, I think there's some interesting words added in here and there. I mean, it took nearly a year for Peter to trigger the blend if one. It had been in that long. Yeah, I don't think he's been here from the start, but he's been here a lot. You know that. That would be an interesting fact. It's been 5 years since I've been doing these. Who was here on the first one? Stephen, would you have been here on the first stream? I can't actually remember. I think the chat is, if you go back and watch the first stream, I think the chat is still there. Well, even 5 years ago, I didn't have hair. Right, so what am I doing? Apart from getting lost and talking to you guys. No, Jen came along June 2019, wouldn't it be? All right, that Jack, this honey flavoured Jack Daniels is just too nice. Extremely dangerous. That was a big, that was a big slosh. Well, no, I mean, there's nothing there to shave off, to be honest, Peter. August 2019, okay. It's not even, it's getting on for 4 years nearly, Jen. But yeah. I don't know, actually, Aileen. I think the only... I can't remember who was actually on the first one. I presume I've still got the... If you watch it back, the chat still appears alongside it. I know it's a setting you have to turn on or turn off, but I presume it's still there. The mid-100s or the mid-1000s, Peter? Because when I started the channel properly, I had about 120 subscribers. That was the weird thing, because I'd made a video about 2 years before I started doing any of the made video stuff, and then it was a while after that when I started going live. Yeah, but the very first stream, I don't actually appear on it. It's just my voice. Yeah, hitting 1,000 was the hitting 1,000 was 2019, because it wasn't that long before the Thomas Heaton video. I'd crossed it. Maybe it was a few months before that, but I was struggling for the 4,000 watch hours. And then Tom came along, and I put on 2,000 or 1,800 followers in a day, something like that. But yes, Peter, you've been around for a while. Right, so this image has turned out bloody nice. So obviously you use different images, but quite a change from this first version. So, you know, it is always worth, you know, if you think something's going to work, have another go at it. Different day, different attitude, different psyche, and all that. Just turned out nice. Turned out nice. So I'm dead chuffed with that. There's a couple of people that triggered this tip thing and didn't pay up. What's all that about? I'll call you Wyatt. Good evening, Wyatt. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the creativity is all the fun of it. That's the best part of it. Is the just seeing where it goes, and you know, you're not tied down to what exactly you saw right in front of you. That's the best part of it. Okay. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe the first ones aren't available, unless they get rid of the chat after so many years. I don't know. At least they keep the video. You know, it's not like Twitch where you get like a month and then it's gone. Would that be you could use blend if, Peter? Is it? Or did Peter swear? Jen, did Peter swear there? Is that why his message disappeared? I haven't got a browser open, so I can't see. Oh yes. Yeah, I wish I was on meds. I would have an excuse then. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, anyways, that is tonight's image. A little bit more conventional than the one last week. So, if you just for interest's sake, this is the new version, and this is what we were actually looking at the time. So I think it worked out quite nicely. Oh, we don't ban it. I'm just like, it might, like, YouTube might automatically restrict it. That's all I'm thinking about. I mean, like they've updated the swearing, the language policies for monetization. So to be honest, I could swear a lot, and it wouldn't cause an issue. But I'm not going to. So yes, that is the Sage building. So that's what I was starting out with, and that's what we've ended up with. Well, it wasn't really the original alien. It was what I was aiming at. what the camera was looking at. I mean, I even played around with in-camera multiple exposures, just messing around. Made this. So this is like all in-camera. This is about as technical as I can get. Just in real life, Jen. Just in real life. That's excessive swearing is when you come over next year or whenever it is, then you'll see what my language policy is. Yeah, it gets a bit pixelated, but yeah, for those of you that came in late on, the original images, because I used 5 images to create that one. So it was this image, this image, this image, 1, 2, 3, that one as well, 4 and 5. So blending all these together in Photoshop. A bit of jiggery pokery and you know, pushing it this way and that way, and a bit of creativity, and we've ended up like that. So that's been the simplified breakdown of where we started. Wyatt. So hopefully that helps if you came along late, so you didn't just get the bits where I'm just refining. Episode 3. That is very early days. Very early days, Peter. I barely made episode 3, to be honest. I think I might have said like, well, the first week, because I did it. I think it was just audio from the webcam, and it was using Google Hangouts to automatically stream to YouTube. So it was a bit rubbish, and just using screen share. So it was a bit rubbish, and I think the next week I used a proper. Maybe the next week I used OBS or something like it, and I think I'd got the webcam sorted out by then. So I had appeared, and I think I'd got a new microphone by then as well. So it was still ropey, and we were still in this room, but it was the other way on. We were looking, the camera was over there, looking this way. It's what was on, that was the simple thing to do at the time, Jen. Because obviously Google Plus was still a thing back then. It was still alive. And I used to use the Hangouts thing on there a lot back in the day. So it felt just ordinary to do that. But it just because it did like a one button stream to YouTube. So I did. Definitely, Wyatt, definitely. Great subject to do because you can use the contrast of the sky behind, like maybe it's a dark, moody sky and a white boat. That'll give you good results on that, or potentially, a bit of colour on a boat. You can use that, and then just don't be scared of when you're processing it. Don't be scared of moving those sliders around and rotating, and give it a go. Yeah, well, it worked that first one. A bit rubbish. We started refining after that, and we are where we are now. So for a while it was webcam based, and then we moved on to the M50, and somehow the computer survived a long time. I think you only ever really had problems when Adobe updated things. So fun to look back over time passed by. Been all good stuff. Great learning experience putting all this stuff together every week. Been great. And I must admit, I do prefer the live format than like spending 2 days or a day filming a load of stuff, talking to the camera and all that kind of stuff. It's not me. It's not me. I'd rather just be replying to you guys in chat and just working away. I mean, ideally, if I had like a load of work to do, I would like stream as I'm working, like working. But like you'd be getting interrupted every 5 minutes because of like dog walking and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice just to have like a chunk, an hour and a half. Sit down, do a bit of editing, because otherwise I might not do any all week. Chat to you guys and all that. It's been great, and obviously lots of people appreciate it, especially during the lockdowns and COVID and all that, which I didn't really think about at the time, and how people appreciated that kind of thing. So, I know. Well, I didn't really fall out of it. I twanged my hamstring or something. Something up the back of my leg went. Ugh. To be honest, Aileen, I should have kept track of these humorous things more. But if anybody wants to go through 211 episodes to try to find funny bits, be my guest. So that's like, that's at least 250 hours. Probably more. Yeah. Even writing down which episode was there when I did tweak my hamstring. The only thing is, like, when things happen, I'm a little square in the corner. That's the other issue about doing best ofs and things like that. Yes. I mean, even when I think it was in the lead up till last year's 4-year thing, because that's when I was starting to think about the book, and just going back through each episode just to find which image I made that night, so I could save the right one. That took ages. Never mind going through them to see if I'd done something or said something funny. So, but yeah. This is the difference. That's the difference between YouTube and Twitch. Twitch, anybody could clip a moment, but YouTube has only just recently kind of started things like that. So miles behind as per usual. Right, I'm drinking too much of this whiskey now. I think I better end stream. As much fun as it is hanging out with you all, must stop drinking. It is a school night after all. Except there's no school tomorrow. And I don't go to school anymore. But it's a work day tomorrow, is what I meant. There's a tenuous idea for one, Aileen. There's been a tenuous idea for one for about a year and a half now. That's as far as it's got. Fantastic, Jen. Well done. So does that mean you go and work for like, I was going to say MI5, GCHQ, the American equivalent of GCHQ? Have you been watching them all, Sergio? Another dedicated fan. Alien, by the time I get around to it, I'll be very old as well. Oh, very fancy. The Russians will be trying to corrupt you to try to get the inside person. But then again, you started off as an Aussie. Can they trust you? That's the other thing. Fantastic, Sergio. Very good. Everybody needs a tipple now and again. Right. This has been a fantastic week for you guys in chat. Lovely to see you all. Let's switch this to me. Great to see you all. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for the donations, those of you coughed up. All right, no nefarious things. Cheers, Wyatt. So yes, the donation goal is going quite well. Just saying. Thank you very much for those in chat that have had a slip of the fingers. Thank you, Jen, for setting up those. But yeah, it's been a great night. Very enjoyable. The chat has been popping off again, which is always the best part, to be honest. Is seeing you all. However many of you that are out there. God, there's 15 of you watching at the minute. But yeah, thank you very, very much for watching this evening. I presume I'll be streaming on Tuesday. I know we've got the bank holiday weekend and all that's coming up with it being Easter. But I presume I'll be here. So we will see you next Tuesday, I assume. If not, I will let you all know via the Discord, maybe as a community post on YouTube, and anywhere else. You might follow me, well, the instanty stuff anyway. But yeah, if you want to keep up to date, join the Discord if you're not already, because that's where I put most of my stuff these days. It's a lot more intimate. There's not as much noise like there is on Twitter and all that, but them places. So do join there if you can. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, so you can get access to this exclusive Scotland video, wallpapers for your desktop and all this kind of stuff. Do that. Join the Patreon or the YouTube membership. You can get in on that. Well, yeah, I think that'll probably about do. I don't think I'll be doing much for the rest of the week. I've got a busy day tomorrow, busy day Thursday, and then it's the long bank holiday weekend, 4 days of holiday. So we will see you on probably on my next worky day, which will be next Tuesday. So if I thought the change from last Tuesday to this Tuesday was very small, seemed to come around very quickly, then next week it's going to be even worse, because I'm basically going to click my fingers from now and it's going to be next Tuesday. But thank you very much, Peter. That's very kind, very kind. Yeah, it was very expensive. I've had a good night. How much have I made tonight? 15 quid tonight I've made. It's nearly worth doing this streaming malarkey. Thank you, Serge. Thank you. That's very kind. So yes, we will see you hopefully next week. Join the Discord if you haven't already. And anything else I need to mention? I was going to mention something. I can't bloody remember now. Distracted. Nope, can't remember. Can't think of it. Just yet, in your diaries, whatever I decide to do as a celebration stream on the 25th of this month for the 5-year anniversary of me starting streaming. Thank you, Jen. Thank you very much. And yeah, I think I'll do. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic Easter weekend if you are celebrating Easter or just, enjoying the couple of days off. Good stuff. Nothing wrong with that. And don't drink too much, but enjoy yourselves. And we'll see you all next week. Till then, keep it hard. See yous.